The golden age for women has come to an end. Men are waking up and realizing that the juice was never worth the squeeze, and as a result, they are walking away. Today's video comes from Alexander Grace. His channel will be linked in the description of the video so that you can go and check him out. Watch to the end of the video to fully understand the implications of the golden age for women now coming to an end and why women are now entering into their broke girl winter after hot girl summer. Go and check us out on Rumble because you never really know what can happen on this platform. So our Rumble is linked in the description of the video, so you can go check us out that way. And now let's just go ahead and jump right into the video after a message from Angry's Crypto Academy.
If you started an unnecessary argument with my husband, why did you do that? Were you bored? Were you projecting guilt? Do you even like your husband? Completely forgot I need to borrow money from him tonight.
Okay, here's what you need to know about women is that deep down in their heart of hearts, women are terrified by how powerless they are. They are the physically weaker gender. They do not have the same innate masculine drive that men do to build, create, lead, explore. Biologically and historically, women have played a more supportive role, but that can be frightening to feel so powerless. And so women are constantly scanning their lives for some evidence that they have control over their own circumstances. They want to know that they do have some power, and typically the evidence they're searching for is their ability to impact a man. Women view men as inherently powerful. They see men as the strong ones, the builders, the creators. And so the feminine psyche thinks like this: man is exerting power over reality, so if I, a woman, exert some power over a man, that is proof that I can indirectly have some control over reality. That is a huge oversimplification and generalization. There are a million caveats and exceptions, but the basic principle here is that men work on life and women work on men. Now, for some women, it looks like this.
The 3 rules that I always follow as a girlfriend is always make sure that he's empty, never talk back, and make sure the house is completely clean before he gets home. And I have a happy life. It's that simple.
Many women make themselves feel powerful by seeing how they can impact a man in a positive way, making him happy and content, whether they are a submissive trad wife or a genuinely supportive egalitarian partner in a more modern arrangement.
Now, let me make this very clear. Most men do not want a trad wife, okay? For example, Soraya, I often talk about Soraya. She is in a relationship where she works, and she's always worked, and she's always taken care of herself, and she's also helped to take care of her man. They take care of one another, all right? She contributes to the relationship. She pays bills. She also ensures that she's making sure to feed her man. So only a few times in like the 20 years that they've been together has she not prepared a meal for that man. All right, for her husband. And the reality of it is that regardless if a woman has a job or not, there are feminine roles that a woman has to play in the relationship, just as there are masculine roles. So it is regardless if a woman goes out there and she's working and she's making her own money and blah, 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 blah. When you're in a marriage, your money is now our money. Let's make this very, very clear. A woman needs to understand that your money, whatever money you make out there, that is a part of the contribution to this family and to this household. Because I'm not just bringing money, I'm bringing myself as a man. I am your provider. I am your protector. In the end, if something goes down, I have to carry the extra weight. But in this home, in a marriage, we are operating together. All right. So I have my role as the man. I am the leader of this organization. Okay. You have a say, but I am the leader. So if my money is your money, your money is our money. Let's put it out there like that. If my money is your money is our money. And there's no two gripes about it, because in today's society, because of the way that things operate, it's almost impossible for the average couple to survive on just one income. And let me say this again. No one likes these trad wives. Most people cannot stand these trad wives because they are damn right creepy. with the makeup and all that other garbage. I'm not saying they all do it, but so many of them do it. And the way that they dress is terrible. Most of us want like a normal woman that dresses normally, you know, wear a normal summer dress. Do not wear a turtleneck in winter. No one's telling you to completely cover up, okay? You can it's like they go from one extreme to the other. It's like, oh, if they can't wear if they cannot wear a bikini, 24/7 in the streets, then that means that, they have to walk around basically, during the summertime looking like it's like they're wearing a winter coat. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Most men are not so scared that they want their woman to walk around looking like, every guy knows that if you're with a woman, she's going to look attractive. A guy wants to walk when he goes out with his girlfriend. He wants a woman who's going to be attractive next to his side. He knows men are going to look at her. Okay. And no one's crying if she's wearing a pair of shorts and girl shorts and a top during the summer. But what women are wearing today is absolutely ridiculous. And this stuff is not even like SEXY. It's literally, it's just gross and degenerate. Like, this is the kind of stuff that you would not even wear. A woman would not even wear at home. Like, the stuff that a lot of modern women wear on the streets, that stuff is not fit to be lingerie. Like I want you to go and compare lingerie from the 90s and normal Victoria's Secret stuff to what these women are wearing today. This stuff is not appropriate at home. Like, you would not wear this at home. I would not want a woman wearing this kind of outfit in my house. I wouldn't feel comfortable. Okay, it's so much harder because the outfits, it's more the kinds of clothing that a lot of modern women wear today. It is more provocative than if they were to wear nothing at all, because it's designed to play on the male psyche. It's designed to draw attention to them directly. 100%. Like, it pulls more attention to them than a lot of the times if they were wearing nothing at all. And I'm absolutely serious about this because it's designed for that. And modern women, when they wear these outfits, they're not wearing them for me. They're not wearing them for decent men like you. They're wearing them for Chad Tyrone, Ray Pookie, Enrique Miguel, and Pancho. Those are the men that they're doing this for. But now all of this is coming to an end because men are pushing back and saying, we don't want this anymore. We're not tolerating this anymore, and we're not going to take this anymore. Guys, what's coming right now? There are commercials. For example, the first commercial just dropped for the Super Bowl, and oh my gosh, it's a doozy. It's very much a return to form. It's a Carl's Jr. commercial. And after a year, Carl's Jr. basically said they were not going to be airing like racy commercials anymore and so forth with beautiful, beautiful, attractive women. Well, guess what? Oh, they're taking this, God did this, and Trump, his fighting made this possible. We're going to jump and we're going to take a look at that commercial. I want you guys to have a look at it and see really what has been accomplished here, because this is unbelievable stuff.
Let's be real. Everyone's going to be a hot mess after the big game. Been there. Done that. And I've got just what you need to cure that post-party bug. The Carl's Jr. Hangover Burger. Egg, double bacon, yeah. You need that double bacon. Charbroiled beef, hash browns, cheese, and sauce. Just the way I like it. And guess what? It's free the day after the big game. You just have to download the Carl's Jr. app and sign up for my rewards. So get your free Hangover Burger on Monday, February 10th. He'll definitely need one.
Guys, tell me if that did not have the 90s vibes. Like, that's what we had back in the 90s. That's how women dressed back in the 90s. That was hot. That was attractive. And guys, don't forget, we had things like Not Another Teen Movie, where the entire movie, you had actually a chick in there walking around wearing nothing. And back then it was like, oh, this was just normal stuff. These were the kinds of things that we had growing up, and no one thought anything of it. And then feminism came along and it wreaked havoc, and it destroyed, it shut everything down. Guys, one of the major things that we've just discovered is related to the whole Gamergate thing. And we discovered that, it's coming out left and right, 100% revealing to us that all of this stuff was orchestrated. All of these things were 100% orchestrated and being paid for by the US government. The US government was they paid for the anti-Gamergate things. They paid for woke culture. They were actually paying to destroy male spaces and target male spaces, digital spaces, and push feminism in them using USAID. This is the largest covert operation in history from what we are seeing. So, guys, the CIA, in many ways, is a joke. It is an absolute another joke. We think of the CIA as this operation that's doing all of the spying and all of this other stuff, and they're pushing all of the propaganda. Guys, the CIA is nothing more at this point than a public agency. And a public agency, the face that people look to when they think, okay, so this is the agency that's doing all spying. No, guys, it's UAID. It's USAID. That's the agency that's pushing all of these these things and beliefs and everything. It's USAID. Oh, that's what the Democrats have been using. That's their main go-to launder money, to funnel money, to spy, to do everything, guys, to push narratives. It's crazy. And they were doing all of this under our noses, and Elon is revealing it to everyone. And they're being warned. The guys, they're trying to stop Elon. They're trying to stop Elon, and basically, even the federal prosecutors are warning them right now. Like the acting federal prosecutor is like warning them, like, listen, if you try to stop Elon from getting this information, because career federal agents are trying to block him and his people from getting information, he's like, we'll prosecute you. So these are members of the deep state. These are agents of the deep state that have been doing these things, that have been covering this stuff up. Look at what's happening at YouTube right now, over at Google, over at all of these companies. Google is getting rid of all of their DEI initiatives, to my understanding. Like, they're getting rid of all of them. Okay. All of these programs discriminated against people, especially white males. Okay. And now they're rushing to get rid of them and scrub them. Guys, these companies, if things go the way they're supposed to, by the grace of God, they're going to end up having to pay out billions, if not tens of billions of dollars for discriminatory practices. And let me explain these discriminatory practices to you. You might think, okay, so, well, it's only going to be white males who are discriminated against. No, it was men in general. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you look at these companies, a lot of people think that, okay, well, if they discriminated against white males, then that meant that a bunch of black guys who had the skill sets were going to get these jobs. So instead of hiring a white guy that looks nerdy, they just hired a black guy that looks nerdy that could do the job. No, that's not how it worked. They hired a bunch of people that were a part of the rainbow community and were simps, and that specifically came like fit their culture and their agendas. So they weren't hiring competent people, even when they were discriminating and saying that, oh, this is discrimination that allows, because it's discrimination that allows competent people of color. And don't get me wrong, all forms of discrimination, all forms of discrimination is wrong. But you need to understand, they weren't discriminating against Stephen Hawking and replacing them with Steve Urkel. Okay, they were discriminating against Stephen Hawking and Steve Urkel, and then replacing them with someone who, like, you're like, when you just look at them, you're like, what the hell is even that? Someone from the community. So it's been an extreme level of discrimination. We actually have a video from Smash JT. His channel will be linked in the description of the video, so you can go check him out and support him. And he talks about the massive Gamergate scandal that's happening right now, and how this is and the funding sources exposed by the U.S. government, or rather by Elon, that the U.S. government was involved in under the Biden administration, and it's been going on for decades. This is not even the tip of the iceberg yet. We're just like 2.5 weeks into Trump's. We're just like 2.5 weeks into Trump's presidency. And all of this is coming out. There's a Department of Education, and they've likely been, I suspect, laundering money over there. This is just one. USAID is barely the tip of the iceberg, I suspect. There's so much more coming. Thank God for Elon Musk. Oh my gosh. He is doing phenomenal, and they want to shut it down right now. All the people that are saying that, oh, we need to stop Elon, and there's a process, they're saying that there's a process because they can't support what's happening. They can't say, oh, these aren't very bad things. So what they're doing is they're trying to say there's a process, so we need to stop this before this information gets out. And then, we'll go through a process to access this. They don't want transparency because they're a bunch of criminals. Guys, that's why I keep telling you, don't trust in cash. It's going to collapse. All right. Hard times are here. They have arrived. They're not coming. They're here. This is why I say the golden era for women is now over. And you're going to see, guys, all right, we're going to see a massive crash. The power is not going to go out, guys. Power may go out. You do need to worry, but it'll come back on. But what you really should be concerned about is when the power is still on, but you can't pay your electric bill because the ATMs have stopped working, the bank doors are chained shut, and the only way that you will be able to actually protect your wealth and safeguard yourself is with crypto. Now, Angry's Crypto Academy teaches you how to buy, sell, trade, and invest in crypto. And we also tell you exactly which coins will mint you millionaires and how to spot potential coins to invest in. Okay, so don't miss out. The Academy is linked in the description of the video, guys. We're out of time. We are 100% out of time. This is not a game, all right? This is not a game. But for one thing is certain, women have put themselves between a rock and a hard place because the golden era for women is now over. It is 100% over. They are absolutely cooked. Absolutely, positively cooked right now. Don't let anyone tell you anything different. Listen to Uncle Angry. Modern women are cooked. They did this to themselves, and now they're going to face the consequences for the decisions that they've made. All right? Let's go ahead and check out Smash JT's video because this really shows us just the heights of how bad things absolutely are. And his channel will be linked in the description so you can go check him out and support him.
Massive breaking scandal that is rocking the entire internet right now. The US government has been exposed to be backing the journalist Gamergate attacks against gamers everywhere and what President Trump is calling a massive scandal. And this is one of the biggest stories we've seen break in a very long time, where this organization of USAID was receiving upwards of $8 million to push propaganda and Gamergate against gamers. And it's just as ridiculous as it sounds. Conspiracy theorists are like, yeah, that's what I've been telling you guys for years now. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. And if this doesn't explain perfectly exactly why so many people hate President Trump, it's all the people in the media that were being propped up by illegitimate funding. Hit that subscribe, give me a like, and check out smashjt.com for the full article breaking down how President Trump is effective immediately moving forward to shut down the funding to USAID, sending $8+ million over to Politico. Man, I never really expected to have this channel go into the political realm, but
yeah, guys, so that's another thing. Like, USAID was funding Politico, which is basically a left-leaning media organization, and giving them almost $10 million a year from U.S. taxpayer money. Not only, by the way, not only was USAID funding Politico, they're funding various other media organizations, and not just media organizations in the United States. They were also funding the BBC. Okay? That went hardcore woke and has been pushing propaganda to people to in the UK. This is insane. Absolutely insane, guys. BlackRock, for example, is beginning to not necessarily walk back their DEI initiatives, but they're beginning to pull out of companies and pull out of groups related to DEI, or more so ESG, because it's beginning. They're now facing significant lawsuits. So they basically demanded that all of these companies, have, ESG, have good ESG scores, which do with environment, sustainability, and all this other garbage, diversity. And now they're kind of beginning to back away, and they're also being sued. They're also facing lawsuits from multiple states for their DEI practices and pushing DEI, including pushing DEI in like, for example, when it comes to electricity, like, oh, your company, we need sustainable energy, we need windmills and blah blah blah. So now they push these initiatives, and as a result of pushing these initiatives, we're no longer able to maintain the same amount of power that we were getting before. So now we're turning to like things like solar and wind, not like solar and wind, and they're not able to sustainably provide enough electricity the way we were getting electricity before, because we need to be environmentally friendly. And then these companies, for example, the DEI companies, like companies like BlackRock, they're invested in power. So when the cost of power goes up, they're getting a massive payday from it. It's insane, absolutely insane what's going on, guys. This is and on top of this, the federal government has been pushing propaganda into male spaces, into video games, into digital spaces to indoctrinate men, and they use the word feminist ideologies into digital spaces.
Here we are. Politico, an extremist left-wing leaning news outlet known for their hostility towards Gamergate and the entire gaming community, has been exposed for receiving over $8 million in taxpayer funds through USAID and other government contracts. The Trump administration has already acted swiftly, with White House Press Secretary Carolyn Levitt announcing that Politico's funding is being terminated effective immediately.
I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The DOJ team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's books. And this president and his team are making decisions across the board on
DOJ team. Yo, Elon. Yo, Elon is not playing games. Elon's not playing games, canceling those payments. Oh my gosh. Guys, this is some crazy stuff. Dodge, can you imagine this, y'all? Dodge employees are just walking into like these offices, like, all right, you know what this is about? All right, let us see your guys. Dodge is getting ready to audit the. That's what Elon is saying. Like, hey, do you want us to go and audit the IRS? And he knows exactly what he's doing. He's basically telling everyone what he wants to do so they can gain public support. And then the very idea of not auditing the IRS then becomes a bad idea. Like, of course you need to audit the IRS. He's a tricky one. He is a tricky one, guys. It's going to be a wild 4 years.
These receipts serve the interests of the American people. Is this a good use of the American taxpayers' money? If it is not, that funding will no longer be sent abroad, and American taxpayers will see significant savings because of that effort.
And I first saw this information come through from friend of the channel Grums, who shared it on his X timeline from user Enerstein, who shed light on how taxpayer money was being funneled into the mainstream media to promote a woke narrative and leading directly to attacking gamers. Grums on X said, nah, this can't be true. Searches, holy US aid paid Politico to have Gamergate smeared, and showed some screenshots searching through Politico's archives, revealing at least 22 articles on Gamergate alone, just with that word involved with it, consistently framing it as disinformation and a harassment campaign, which is funny because when you go over to the definitely compromised Wikipedia page, it says Gamergate and then in parentheses, harassment campaign. And Endersellian, the user that Grums was quote tweeting, reacted to these revelations by...
Now, just to be clear, don't forget that there was also a period where they had this whole thing like where feminists were editing Wikipedia, and they were like edit Wikipedia, and they were changing all the information on Wikipedia, removing certain information and to make it more feminist. And of course, Wikipedia is no longer a trustworthy source of information because the information on Wikipedia has been adjusted and it's no longer unbiased. It's designed to attack men. It's designed to push socialist ideals and values. It's a socialist, it's a propaganda platform. Like at this point, I think the smartest and safest thing to do very well may be to one is like to strip Wikipedia of right off the bat, strip Wikipedia off their what do you call that thing? Their nonprofit status. Like that is something that needs to be done immediately because it's revealed. We have it right in front of us that Wikipedia has been taking part in this. We have the evidence to show that Wikipedia has been taking part in this. So they need to be stripped of their nonprofit status and investigated. Also, journalists, especially like video game journalists, we know that they've been pushing this garbage. We know that they've been, they've been involved in fixing reviews and working with companies to push socialism and these types of narcissistic views and reviews that are supporting of the rainbow community and critical of anything that men enjoy or that's pro male or that they consider that they'll just label misogynistic. We know they've been doing this, so that's actually illegal, and there are massive fines that these companies face when it comes to like fixing reviews. So there's so many things here, guys. All of these organizations need to be shut down. The ones that are nonprofits need to lose their nonprofit status. Like for example, Soros, he has his nonprofit organization. Gates has his nonprofit organization. These organizations need to lose their nonprofit status immediately. Treat them like corporations that are using those funds to push political agendas in society for the people who control them. Okay? And they're doing this for profit. They're doing this for greed. They're doing this for power. They're doing this because they fundamentally hate humanity and want to control us. So they need to be prosecuted, guys. And as I've said, you should be focusing on getting your money right now because we are heading into hell on earth. Hard times are here, and most women don't even realize it. Okay, hot girl summer is over. Broke girl winter is here. That's why you should be focusing on crypto, guys. Don't forget that when the economy collapsed in Greece, you had teenagers selling physical intimacy for €3, and a lot of you jerks back then, it was like 10 years ago, were like angry. That's still €2 too many, man. That's still €2 too many. Let me ask you something. When the banks collapse, and trust me, it's coming, will you be ready? Imagine waking up to ATMs that don't work, bank doors chained shut, and millions of people left with nothing. No cash, no access to their savings, and no way to survive. But it doesn't have to be that way for you. That's why I created Angry's Crypto Academy, to teach you everything you need to know about crypto so you can protect yourself and your family. You'll learn how to buy, sell, and even day trade crypto for a living. Plus, we alert you to new crypto trends so you can profit before everyone else even knows what's happening. Right now, I've just published an exclusive investment guide inside the Academy, and it's linked in the description below. In it, I reveal the one coin that could make you a millionaire. A coin so revolutionary, it could change everything. If you missed out on Bitcoin and Ethereum, this is your second chance. This isn't just about financial freedom. It's about survival. When the system collapses and everyone else is selling, you'll be the one buying, prepared to weather the storm and thrive while others struggle to survive. Don't wait. This knowledge isn't optional, it's critical. The link's in the description. Go check it out now.
trait of a high quality woman if she feels powerful when she is improved life. A low quality woman is the exact opposite. She feels powerful based on how miserable she can make a man. That's why she starts arguments. That's why she insults him, gaslights him, criticizes, nags. Seeing the man in distress and knowing that she was powerful enough to cause that is what makes her feel in control. I have made his life so difficult. Look how much power I have. It's when she feels irrelevant to her man's mood, that's when she starts to panic. The feeling of powerlessness overwhelms her. When she feels like she makes no impact on the man, that's when she feels terrified. But it is also why the best revenge that you can take on a woman who has wronged you is to not get all angry and stoop down to her level. That's just demonstrating how much power she has over you. No, the best response is to ignore her, to focus on yourself and just be happy. Nothing infuriates those types of women more than seeing a man do his own thing, be happy without her. That's not what she wants. She wanted his enjoyment of life to be dependent on her.
Now, let me make this clear. Alex is right, but it does not mean that you should never get angry. You should get very angry. If you're being treated poorly, you should get angry. But it comes down to how you show your anger. For example, the best way to show anger when dealing with a narcissist is by displaying indifference. So you can be infuriated on the inside. And this is how, if you want to get even with, for example, there was this woman, Sarah Eden, who said you should never try to get even. That's absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. You should absolutely get even. But the way you do it is by walking away, taking away your resources, taking away your attention, leaving them with nothing. That's how you get even. All right. Not engaging into a fight. All right. Never hold a grudge against a woman. Guys, of course we are all going, if someone does something absolutely terrible to you, of course you're going to hold a grudge. The way that a woman goes about holding a grudge is by trying to go after you, trying to make your life worse, trying to punish you, destroy your name. The way that a man holds a grudge is by walking away, by ignoring her, by turning your back on her, by living your best life. It does not mean that you do not defend, you do not stand up for yourself. It does not mean that you do not take action against someone if they're destroying your name, if they're trying to hurt, create problems in your life. It also doesn't mean that the time does not come where you have to stand up for yourself and then raise your voice. For example, if you're dealing with someone and they are being confrontational and you've tried everything else, then you have to assert yourself as a man, regardless if you're dealing with a man or a woman. You have to stand up for yourself and you have to show that you are a man. Okay? And if you're in a situation where you need to defend yourself, then you defend yourself. You do not allow yourself to be control off, deleted, or taken, or whatever. And then you call the police and you let the police step in. All right? Because there's a point. There is a limit as men where no matter who we're dealing with, we have to stand up for ourselves. Women don't realize they have priced themselves out of the market. They've made themselves so undesirable to most men that most men in Western society will no longer date or have relationships with them. 90% of men are no longer dating, getting married, or having children in the United States. Okay, replacement levels are down to 1.6. You need 2.1. You need 2.1 children. The average woman needs to have 2.1 children over the course of her life for us to maintain replacement levels. Okay, that 2.1. So basically, it's one for. So for example, if the woman needs to have 2.1 because she's replacing the man, the woman, and then that 0.1 accounts for any children that may be lost during childhood, which is why they say 2.1. So basically, the average woman needs to have slightly more than one kid. Now, the thing is that we're down to 1.6. So we're well below replacement levels, and we're just basically staving off the issue like our population crisis using immigration. But that's not a long-term solution because that changes our culture. Ultimately, we need to be able to maintain our own population. We need to have babies. But with most men now not wanting to are refusing to absolutely engage in this, and 95% of men saying that they're sick and tired of of dating and relationships. So, for example, 90% of men have opted out, and that leaves 10% of men that are still in the game. And then from that 10% of men, half of those men don't even want to play the game anymore. They're sick. They're still out there dating and having relationships, but they're sick of the way that they've been treated, and they really don't want to be involved. Like these are men who are like, they're still too afraid of being alone. They're still desperate for physical intimacy, so they're out there still messing around, but they're miserable because most women only want the top 5% of men. And even with the top 5%, the reality is that they still only want the top 1%. They want what they cannot have. They want this imaginary guy. The golden age for women has come to an end. They are now going to face extraordinary hardships, extraordinary levels of poverty, okay? Extraordinary levels of destitution. This is the reason why women are now like, ladies, only get a man if he's like a provider, if he's a provider man. Stop, he has to be generous and blah, blah, blah. What do you have to offer? They have nothing to offer. And in their desperation, they are now demanding demanding the sky, because they've been taught that, a man will just come to you and give everything to you. This is, guys, the world is going to look at women in a couple of years and say, how did women in America end up in these extraordinary states of poverty and destitution? The level of poverty and destitution seen by women in America is going to shake the entire world. You're going to have women in the Dominican Republic, women in the Philippines, women in countries where American women were talking down to these women. You're going to have women in Africa, all right, places where they don't have the kinds of money that America has. And they're going to look at these women in absolute and utter shock and say, but we're not suffering like these women. How did these American women who went from living in nice homes and having all of this money and all of these resources now go to the point of living in poverty and squalor? Okay? And the answer is going to be very simple. It's going to be feminism. It's going to be the choices that women made. It's going to be the fact that women operate as agents of the state. They allowed themselves to be used as agents of the state. They were given special privileges while men were given special punishments. And now the roosters are coming home to crow, and they are going to have to face the consequences of the decisions that they made. And those consequences basically mean falling from grace and having and down to reality. And the irony is that women cannot go backwards. So they're going to continue believing that they deserve the entire world. They're going to continue believing that, they deserve to live in mansions. They deserve everything and anything. All right. They don't want no broke boy. They want millionaires. So it's like, bro, you're homeless. You're living on the street or living in your car or living in a lot of them. They say they say they wanted the bear, but now they don't want to go live in the woods with Yogi and Boo Boo. So, but they're going to be living in extraordinary states of poverty and destitution, living in shelters. And then they're still going to be out there saying that they're not going to settle and they want a millionaire. And then from the women who will say like, okay, I'll settle. No man, only a foolish person is going to jump into a relationship with a woman who's saying that she's going to settle for him. Oh, because most men are hip to it now. That's the reason why women want red pill videos banned. Mothers are refusing to let their sons watch red pill videos, monitoring them because they don't want their sons to find out who their mothers actually are. And what women have done in society, have done to their fathers, all of us, guys, they don't want to get put on blast. They don't want these kids going and saying, they don't want these kids going before the judge and saying, mommy was cheating. All right. Mommy had Chad, Tyrone a bunch of times. Ray, Pookie, Enrique, Miguel, Juan, Pancho. Pancho practically lives at our house. In fact, I think Pancho is my father. Like dad, he doesn't really he'll always be my dad, but really we don't look alike. I think Pancho is my father. I really, really think Pancho is my father because I've known him. I've known him almost as long as I've known my dad. He would always come he would always be here when dad isn't around. I think Pancho is my dad. Like, can you hook us up with a DNA test? Because I just need to know. So they don't want men fighting out. That's what they want. Red pill videos banned. They want the red pill community banned. They want red pill content banned because they know that men are waking up. They wanted to keep us. They wanted to keep us brainwashed. They wanted to keep us oblivious. They wanted to keep us under their spell. And now all of that is coming. The truth is beginning to come out. And the truth will set you free. There's a saying, guys, if you want to destroy a man, tell a lie. If you want to destroy a woman, tell the truth. And now the truth is coming out, and it's revealing what women have done. It's revealing what the state has done. Because I told you that the average woman operates as an agent of the state. And as a result of that, all of the ill-gotten gains that they receive, they will now begin to lose many of them because there will be no more for them. Women are heading into the golden age for women has come to an end. Women are now entering into their broke girl era. All right, let me put it correction. Hot girl summer is over. Broke girl winter is here. Okay? It's not coming. It's not like, okay, ladies, we've got Kevin Samuels warned that winter was coming. He warned for years until they Control-Alt-Deleted him. Because he did not pass away from natural causes. They Control-Alt-Deleted that man. Okay? They absolutely did. But he's looking down, smiling right now. Looking down, smiling. Because he fought, all right? He fought that battle. He wasn't on the scene as long as I was. But he came in and he made a massive impact on society. And his videos are still around. And they're still as fresh as ever. And they're still being played. And here it is. Winter has arrived. It's not coming. It's here. Hard times are here. That's why I keep telling y'all, get into crypto. Start investing in crypto. Don't waste your time. But a lot of people don't listen. The golden age for women has come to an end. And women are now facing the hardest period of their existence since the dark ages. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA Men walking away. And cheers.
Nothing says you care like crypto. Nothing can compare. Nothing says you care like crypto. Oh, nothing can compare to crypto.